The border conflict between the northeastern states of Assam and Mizoram has quickly escalated to a concerted campaign against the Chief Minister of Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma. An online bot army has been pressed into service to hound and disparage him. The reason to target Himanta is clear. 2 months after Sarma assumed the CM chair, he started working with the Union Home Minister Amit Shah to resolve the border problem that was manufactured by the colonialists and allowed to fester by subsequent governments. Sarma dared to change the status quo, and he has been dubbed as the villain. Hi and welcome to TFI English, the national and socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Sanbir Alhotra, and in this video I will tell you the truth about the latest calls for Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma to resign. Let's begin. 7 Assam police personnel have been killed while over 50 suffered injuries after violent clashes broke out between Assam police and Mizoram police on Monday. However, soon after, an elaborate online campaign was started against Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma as hashtags like "Shame on Assam" and "Resign Assam Chief Minister" started trending on Twitter. Safe to say, the conflict of borders has now escalated against a single man. Reportedly, the trend "Shame on Assam" was primarily used by bots, and that too from America. A netizen pointed out the facts by stating, "Saw the "Shame on Assam" hashtag trending, so did a quick check on who is trending it. Found that most of the handles are from the USA, only 1/3 from India. Just 2.6 million reach shows that mostly bots were used. Who is behind it?" Similarly, the hashtag "Resign Assam CM" was trended by bots, mainly operating from New Delhi but routed to different countries by changing the IP address. Voice of Assam, a Twitter page, unearthed the reality of the bots. More than 5,000 bots were used to trend and defame Assam yesterday. These bots were mainly used from Delhi but routed their IP addresses to different countries. Special tools were used to automatically engage with organic users and spam Twitter. Most of these bots are suspended now. There is no denying the fact that Sarma is the tallest leader in the Northeast. Through the CAA-NRC protests and countless skirmishes by the opposition, he has stood his ground firmly. The political opponents and the insurgents across the 2 states fear that with Sarma at the helm of affairs, the border problem could be solved. And if such a major roadblock plaguing both states since a century can be resolved, the business of miscreants and insurgents will come to a screeching halt, much like the separatists of Kashmir, who have been left running around for funds ever since the abrogation of Article 370. The attack on the border came days after Home Minister Amit Shah visited the Northeast to meet with chief ministers and chief secretaries of the states which are part of the Northeastern Democratic Alliance and asked them to resolve the border issues. Sarma is close to the BJP's top brass, and he has been put at the center of the border conflict resolution process. However, certain untoward elements couldn't stomach this reality and after the conflict started targeting Sarma. The hatred against Himanta Biswa Sarma can be gauged by the open yet hilarious letter penned by the president of the Mizo Students' Union, J. Lalmonzwala, who threatened the Union of India with dire consequences and said the Mizo people, including the organization he represents, will not shy away from taking up arms against India if pushed too far. He rather openly flashed the insurgency card and attempted to intimidate the Chief Minister of Assam. Sarma, however, did not take the threat lying down and quoted the particular tweet and said, "Brother, you are dialing a wrong number." With his wit and humor, Himanta Biswa Sarma grounded a man full of himself and his inconsequential abilities to take up arms against the Indian state. Sarma has already insinuated that non-state actors could have played a part in orchestrating the chain of events that led to the gunfight. The Assam Chief Minister said, "The drugs route originates in Myanmar and travels through Mizoram and Assam's Barak Valley all the way to Punjab." He urged his Mizoram counterpart Zoramthanga to probe how could civilians in battle fatigues and bulletproof vests turn up at the border to attack our policemen with sniper rifles. "I have video evidence. I think it should be investigated whether certain vested non-state actors entered the fray." Ever since the news of bunkers being built by suspected former Mizo insurgents across the interstate boundary in Barak Valley's Karimganj district came to light, Assam has mobilized its troops on the border as well. As a precautionary step, the Assam government on Thursday issued a travel advisory asking people not to travel to Mizoram, citing a threat to personal safety. The situation remains tense, but the insurgents and detractors of Sarma are using him to drive a wedge between the two states. The long-standing border dispute finds its root in the colonial past and to this date continues to haunt the integrity of the country in its northeast. However, subsequent governments failed to find any solution to the problem and instead preferred to look the other way. Sarma wanted to change it, and now he is being hounded.